Hello, this is RV Vagabond Jerry, and I'm now going to spend a few days boondocking at the beach at Indianola, Texas. Indianola is about 11 miles south of fairly good-sized town of Port Lavaca. I think the population is about 13,000, and it has a Walmart. Indianola was originally populated by German immigrants, and at one point the population of Indianola was about 5,000 people, and it was the county seat. But then in 1875 they had a major hurricane come through Indianola, and they did rebuild the city, which had tremendous amount of damage. But then only 11 years later, 1886, another hurricane destroyed Indianola, and that was about all they could take. So they all pretty much just moved away, and there is nothing left of the old Indianola buildings. So after that, I guess they decided Indianola is not the place for them. But you know what? At one point, Indianola was the second main import port for freight coming into Texas after Galveston. And there's a couple signs they have posted, historic markers that have some more information that I'm going to show you as well. So let me show you around Indianola, Texas. This is a little grassy park here with some brick picnic tables, and there's a sign here and an art piece of a camel and its trainer, and here is some information on the Great Camel Experiment. A little further south of that is some people there. I thought they were fishing, but here is a fishing pier, and it has not been repaired since the last hurricane that came through here, and as you can see down there, did a lot of serious damage to the pier at the end. There's just no sight of it there. There's some people down here who are fishing. You can see their poles. And a little further down the road is a big monument here of Rene Robert Cavalier. And this is a little hard to read, but it's a very nice piece of artwork. And right below it is this, again hard to read. It says, "This marker is in memory of the immigrants from Celestia, a region of modern-day Poland." Interesting. And here is a little park with a couple historic plaques there, and a walkway going out. I'll show you. And then over here is some more interesting information. This tells about the German immigrants who populated Indianola. And then this one tells about what you might call one of the founding fathers here. Indianola was originally called Indian Point. It was renamed Indianola. So if you can read these, that's a lot of historic information there. And the covered picnic table they have here, and let me show you where this goes. It's a walkway that goes just a little ways here. It's kind of like marshland along the walkway, and at the end here is a viewing platform of the lake. I don't know what the name of this lake is. Kind of surprised I don't see any ducks or birds around here. You sure would think so. Now, Indianola is not a ghost town. People have built a lot of homes here, each one a different color. Very colorful place. There's a boat launch here, and there are a few more piers. However, they have not kept up maintenance or rebuilt their piers after they get destroyed by hurricanes. There's that one, and then over here is another one that is in about as worse shape as a pier can be. Although the birds like it. These are private piers, so it's up to the owners to rebuild them or take care of them. But no complaints from the birds. And a little further south is a little rocky beach with some colorful rocks here. It's called Rupard's Beach, and it has some random mileages here. Big D, whatever that is, Mexico, Hightown, Rockport, 62 miles away, San Antonio 157, just in case you need to know. I think somebody had some spare paint from these colorful homes here. Here's a lady and a little girl fishing on what's left of that pier. I was here about 1.5 years ago, and I noticed this little lavender colored house with that for sale sign, and looks like they have not had much luck finding a buyer for it. It's a little thing compared to that big blue one I just showed you and this pink one. And they got an RV back there. So if you're interested, there you go, folks. That looks like an offshore rig of some sorts. And right in the center of the Indianola area, there is a full hookup RV park. Reservations required. There's only 2 of them here right now. So if you're not into boondocking, you might want to call that number and get one of these spots. And right to the left of the camel is a sign here with the, as it says, Magnolia Indianola Beach. They're both in the same beach. Magnolia is on the north end and Indianola is on the south end. And here are the park rules. And down here it says, have fun. Camping limited to 14 days with a 30-day gap. It used to be unlimited here for parking, camping, but I think they had trouble with people just making this their permanent home. So I think it was about 2 years ago they started the 14-day limit rule. And here is the main Indianola parking area. They have these hurricane-proof covered picnic tables. And this is where I'm going to be camping. And if it stays as nice and cool as it is now, I think I'm going to stay here a whole week. And the only facilities they provide is, I guess they're calling these cabanas. And it has a barbecue grill and a trash bucket. So that is it. But I'm really close to the beach here, and it is a fairly decent beach. Kind of curves around here. There's plenty long enough. And this is just my little section. And there's a whole lot of these sections like that where it curves around in the beach. So there's several like half moon style beaches like that. And right across the road from here is the restroom building. Maybe this is the sponsor of the building. So let's see what it looks like. There's the women's on the other side. Let's see what the men's looks like. Well, we got a sink and 3 places, 2 for sit down and 1 for stand up. That's fairly decent. Just make sure you bring your own paper. They also have 3 of those cabanas on the other side of the road, if you prefer that. So all in all, I think this is a pretty decent place for beach camping. It's all for free, no permit needed. You don't need to register or talk to anybody. So for free, what more do you want? Now this is something else you can do, which does kind of appeal to me. You can buy just a little strip of land like this and park your RV back there for when you don't want to be off traveling, even a boat. And then you install an electric hookup box there and a water faucet line, and you are just set for as long as you want to be here, which I think is a great idea if you don't want to be traveling all the time like I do. Just buy you a little strip of land like that and you are set. And get you one of these to drive around the local area. And that way you don't have a house to get torn up when the next hurricane comes through here. When you know it's coming, you just take off with your RV. There is one restaurant in Indianola. It's at the far south end of the road, which is about 2.5 miles from where I'm camped out. And it's this building right over here. These are the services that the marina here has to offer. There's their bar, and the dining area is outdoors, although it's well covered. And this is where people fish, right off of the pier here. This is Powderhorn Lake, and it meets up with the Gulf of Mexico right there. How's this for a nice lunch? Grilled redfish, fried shrimp, crab cake, fries, and a salad. I like it. Just across the way here, they have several RV hookups on that lot there, and they have 30 amp electric hookup boxes only. The clerk in the store here told me it's $40 a day to use them, which is a little expensive, I think, for just 30 amp. However, if you really like this spot, that sure puts you close to the action. And there is a third RV park in Indianola. It's called Powderhorn RV Park. And here they have 50 amp hookup boxes. This is where you want to be if you need 50 amp. And this RV park has its own boat ramp and marina here. Nice. There are some really interesting homes and RVs here. I wonder what this guy's favorite beer is. What do you think? I have been to Indianola Beach and Magnolia Beach 4 times before this, twice in the summer and twice in the winter, and I like coming here both in the winter and summer. In the winter, it's always very, very mild weather here, much warmer than up in like northern Texas. So if you got some time to kill, it's a really nice place to hang out in the winter. Now in the summer, it does get really hot here, and I can deal with the heat during the day. It gets hot in the motorhome, but if you come out and sit in the shade like this under one of the cabanas, then it's very tolerable. So the heat is not a big problem during the day, but at night I like it cool so I can sleep. So I usually run my air conditioner at night when I'm here in the summer. Now right now is in mid-October, and the weather seems to be changing a lot. Yesterday, the first day when I got here, it was terribly hot, but late in the evening it cooled down very nicely. And today, even though the skies cleared up because it rained a lot late yesterday, it is staying nice and cool all day long. Even here in the afternoon, it's staying nice and cool but very windy, and the wind is what keeps things cool. Those cool breezes come off of the ocean and really cools down the area here. So I am just really loving this so far, the 2 days I've been here so far. Another thing I like about it here is that it gets really good Verizon internet. And one of the reasons I think the internet is strong here is because you can actually see the city from this point. There is a ship coming into the port of Port Lavaca, which is right there across the way. So you can see the city of Port Lavaca from the beach here. Another thing I like is that the sand here is nice and smooth. It's not very rocky. And when you go in the water, which I did yesterday, the bottom of the ocean where you walk is pretty smooth. It's not rocky down there. And you don't have to go out very far to get to where the water is up to your shoulders. The water is a little rough today because it's so windy, but yesterday the water was just almost perfectly smooth. And this is a big bay, so because it's not in the open ocean, you're not going to get big waves like you do further on south around the beaches in Texas. This is my 4th day here, and all day long there has been no wind at all. So you can see how calm the water is on a day like this. If you like to fight the waves, other places in Texas are good for that. And as you can tell before, there were some fairly good sized waves on a real windy day. But I like it like this, where it's just very calm and peaceful. So if you want to spend some time camping at the beach for free, I would definitely recommend Indianola Beach in South Texas. Good day, folks.